But I have to say now, dare I say it, forgive me, you're an artist, you're a great artist. I remember it and I love it, and I love you forever.
But I have to say it now, please forgive me, you're an artist. You're a great artist. I love it and remember it. I will always love you. Thanks. He said that they wanted to fire Pacino and get rid of him, which I remember. They kept making fun of him because he's not sure of himself. She finally spoke out when she was 79 years old, and what she said shocked everyone in Hollywood. She finally told everyone about the one guy who really had her heart and never left it, after decades of keeping it a secret. It was more than a one-night stand or a Hollywood romance. The love she felt came back to haunt her, changed her, and would never let go. Even though stars come and go, Diane's sad statement about Al Pacino shows that some love stories will always live on, even if they don't end with a goodbye. She never told this truth until now. They fell in love in a quiet way on the set of The Godfather in 1971. People had not yet heard of them. Diane was a funny, out-of-the-box actor with her own ideas, and Al was a mysterious star rising from the East Harlem shadows. Their friendship wasn't based on fame. There was something closer and more attractive about it. With a single look they understood each other in a way that neither of them could explain. Even though they came from very different backgrounds, both of them are troubled. Diane Keaton is from Los Angeles and grew up in a strict Catholic family. His name was David, and he was a civil engineer. His mother was a beauty queen who gave up her hopes to become a mother. Diane swore from the start that she would never be a mother. She wouldn't give up her goals or her freedom for anyone. She stood out in Hollywood because she was so independent, but it also made her weak. She was strong because she was looking for a love that would last. She didn't want something short-term. She wanted a long time. Al Pacino was, on the other hand, a child whose life had been broken. He was only 2 years old when his father left. He was raised by his mother in a small Bronx apartment by herself. She did odd jobs to pay the bills. He was made by trouble, not by ease. He didn't find comfort in other people, but in stories, on stage, in plays, and in characters. Performing was the only thing he could really do, but he was afraid of relationships. When he was attached, he felt trapped and lost the only thing he ever loved, freedom. When Diane and Al met, they were a clash of two different personalities. Diane desperately wanted to hold on, while Al only knew how to let go. It was never loud when they were together. There were no red carpet events or news stories about the cameras. It was there in the background during the breaks between takes, in long pauses and looks that said everything. Diane really liked him a lot. She later said, "I was mad at him. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. He was charming, smart, and surprising." Al never said much in public, but his friends and coworkers knew they could feel it. There was something divine going on that went beyond chemistry. The way they fell in love was not typical. It happened over many years and never really ended or started up again. Al Pacino and Diane Keaton were in love, and their love never went away, even when other things did. They broke up, got back together, moved apart, and then found their way back, and was the one Diane could never forget through it all. Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, and Mel Gibson were some of the others who came and went. But Al Pacino was always there in the back of her mind like a ghost. For her, the three Godfather movies were all about one thing. Al. That one line told us everything. A lot of people want security, a family, or something to hold on to in a world that is always changing. She calmly waited for Pacino to give her that, even though it hurt sometimes. It's been 20 years, and still no answer. Their last chance came in 1989 while they were making The Godfather Part 3 in Rome. They stayed at the same house. Some of their co-workers said that they thought this was the moment he would finally ask her to stay forever. Diane was the one who asked, though. He had a choice. Get married or leave me alone. Pacino didn't say anything. He walked away instead. There wasn't a fight or a big goodbye. There was just quiet, the kind that breaks everything. Diane found out at the same time that her father was dying. She went to therapy and broke down because she missed a love that never came together, and a family that was falling apart. She said I wanted more over and over. It was impossible for him to love me the way I loved him. And loving someone so much that they push you away can be the worst thing that can happen to your heart. She never dated in public again after that. She took in 2 kids when she was 50 and made her own way in life. As an actor, she won an Oscar, went on to direct movies, and became an icon in Hollywood. She chose to be alone instead of putting herself second. She said, "I'm glad I didn't get married," when asked if she felt bad about not getting married. It probably wouldn't have worked. So did Al Pacino. He never got married. He was married 3 times and had 4 kids with them. The woman he dated the longest, Beverly D'Angelo, gave birth to twins. Some of them faded away, like parts of a movie that wasn't finished. He stayed out of reach, going from relationship to relationship without ever settling down. In a talk he once said, "I stay away from doors that could hurt me." It was just one line, but it told me so much. It wasn't like he couldn't love. It scared him. Diane and Al lived different lives after they broke up, but they never really stopped loving each other. The American Film Institute gave Diane Keaton its Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017, and Al Pacino was given the award. Years had passed, but there was a memory in his voice. He didn't talk about awards. Instead, he talked about small things, like how she laughed before interviews, and how close they were during their time in Rome. Then he told her, "I love you forever." Diane didn't cry. Maybe she had already shed all the tears she could. Or maybe hearing it now, even though it was too late, after all these years, was enough. They didn't need to get married or have kids for their love to be real. The way they talked about each other with respect all the time showed that it was real. He once said she was the most interesting woman he had ever met. He had the most beautiful face she had ever seen, she said. Some loves don't need to last a lifetime. Some heartaches never get better. But sometimes friendship is the only place where love can live without hurting anyone. They didn't fail in their story. It's about picking. Diane picked peace over running away. Al picked freedom over being scared. One of them, though, was in a therapist's office, sad about a future that never came true. After many years, only one stood in front of a crowd and said, "I love you forever." It's possible that they were never meant to last. Not every love story has a happy ending. The ones that don't quite settle or stay are sometimes the ones that shape us the most. It was never normal for Diane Keaton and Al Pacino to be together in Hollywood. Their relationship wasn't a quick fix that made the news, or a red carpet kiss that sealed the deal. It had more depth, was quieter, and was much more complex. A story that doesn't have a happy ending, but has an effect that lasts. Sometimes people come into our lives not to stay, but to show us something. What we want, what we fear, and what hurts us the most. That's how Diane and Al treated each other. Realizing that you're not always ready for love even if you want it was very painful. This is especially true when the person you love can't meet you halfway. For Pacino, it was too scary to lose himself. His world saw freedom as a way to stay alive and commitment as a danger, not a comfort. Even though they were different, they were always connected. It changed over time. They weren't dating anymore, but they weren't just friends either. They connected in a way that was hard to describe. It was based on mutual respect, experience, and something that felt like love. Though it could have been different. Their story shows that not all love stories end with rings or promises. Some of them aren't even stories in the usual sense. They're parts of our lives that stay with us, teach us, and leave a mark that time can't remove. They said goodbye, but it wasn't really goodbye, because some love lives on even without a name. Please like, share, and follow if this story moved you. Come with us for more Hollywood stories that have never been told, emotional trips, and famous love affairs. Press the bell button to make sure you don't miss an important moment.